As we gather, we are reminded that the town of Bonnyville is situated on Treaty 6 land that is steeped in rich indigenous history and is the traditional homeland and home to First Nation and Métis people today. We respect the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nation, Métis, and all First people of Canada, whose presence continues to enrich our community. Council, before we get into our meeting, we've got some presentations that are going to happen, starting with the Long Service Awards, and we'll turn it over to CAO Winfrey.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Hopefully everyone can hear me here. All right. I'm going to start a little bit different tonight. So we do have some people that have to go off to an event that they volunteered for, so we're going to do them first, and then we'll get back into the original list. So we'll do the members from FCSS. So I've got Rhonda Marin, 10 years of service. Rhonda has began her career with the town in 1997 and has held several roles over the years, including FCSS programmer, FCSS manager. Today, she serves as our community service director, leading with vision, direction. Rhonda, your leadership to our community well-being are deeply appreciated. Where do you want us? What's that? We're gonna kick the mayor out of her seat. If I butcher her last names, it's not my fault. Jennifer Lasowski. Did I get it right? Yeah, first shot. All right. 25 years of service. Jennifer started in 2000 as administrative support for FCSS and continues to serve in that role today. For 25 years, Jennifer has been a cornerstone to our FCSS team, providing stability and support through countless programs and initiatives. Jennifer, your loyalty and service are truly commendable.
He didn't fudge my name at all.
Love it. Did something right today. Hold on. See, now I did the handshake wrong. So I'll do the next one for FCSS, and I'll get Rhonda to come back up and grab the award, as this member was unable to attend. So I got Leanne Denanko, 15 years of service. Leanne began her journey with the town in 2006 as an early childhood educator, and has since grown into her current role as FCSS programmer. Her passion for support families and building strong community programs has made a lasting impact. Leanne, we appreciate your commitment to enhancing the lives of our residents. Come on. We'll grab a picture. Thank you. I just wanted to make Rhonda come up here twice. Okay, next is Brianna Reel. Brianna started in 2018 as a junior lifeguard and has progressed into intermediate lifeguard. Her commitment to safety and recognition has made a positive. Joined our team in 2020 as administrative support in the property tax department. Her attention to detail and customer service skills have been invaluable in helping residents navigate important financial processes. Natasha, thank you for your hard work and dedication. Please come up.
Thanks.
Hope I didn't get your last name wrong.
No.
Brian Mickelson, 5 years of service. Brian joined the town in 2020 as the IT technician and has been an instrumental in support in all departments with their logistical technological needs. His experience ensures that our systems are run efficiently and securely. Brian, thank you for keeping us connected. Which way? This way?
Shaking hands.
Still learning how to tango. Vanessa Palico, I'm sure I got that last name wrong, is unfortunately not here tonight, but Vanessa joined the town in 2014 and has worn many hats, from administration support to property taxes, accounts receivable, payables, planning, department development, and the casual administrative support at the swimming pool. Today, she continues to excel in finance, administration, and administrative support for her accounts receivable and payables. Vanessa, your versatility and your commitment are invaluable. Thank you. I have Adrienne Denoye. I knew I got that wrong. Adrienne joined the town in 2010 as administrative support at the RCMP detachment. For 15 years, she has been a steady and reliable presence, supporting critical public safety services. Adriana, thank you for your dedication, your professionalism for the RCMP and the town.
My first time.
We'll make sure from now on we do. Thank you. Next up is Dana Mugford, 15 years of service. Dana started in 2011 as administrative support at the swimming pool and has worked her way up to be pool supervisor. Her dedication to recreation and safety has enriched our community's wellness programs. Dana, thank you for all your years of service and leadership. And unfortunately, she is not here tonight. Next up is Sarah Rice, 20 years of service. Sarah began her career with the town as a summer student in 2004, then worked as a casual laborer before moving into Public Works Operator 1 and 2 roles and eventually becoming the park supervisor. Her journey reflects dedication and growth, and her work has shaped the beauty and the functionality of our community spaces. Sarah, thank you for your 20 years of service and outstanding service. And I'd also like to add that Sarah volunteers a lot of her time to the community and provides us with a lot of supports for our Canada Day celebrations, our festival of trees, and many other programs that we put on in the community. So thank you. And I believe that is it for those. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Okay, are you going to do the? Okay, I guess the floor is still yours. Okay.
Come up, please. So what we have here tonight is Suk is our community peace officer. Suk is going to be swearing the oath of office for the peace officer position. Can you repeat after me? I, Suk Koher. I'm saying her last name wrong.
Kara.
Kara? Not even close. Sorry. Let's try that again. Suk Kara, do you solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully and diligently partially perform the duties of peace officer?
Yes.
All right. For the town of Bonnyville, to the best of your knowledge and the skills and ability.
Yep.
Okay. Do you pledge to uphold the laws of the province of Alberta?
Do my best.
Will you carry out the duties with honor and accountability, treat all persons with dignity and compassion, and conduct yourself? Do you accept the responsibilities entrusted to you and will strive to lead by example, to pursue justice without bias, and to protect the peace and the... We're going to give him his official police card.
All
And then, hold on. See?
Yes. All right. Yes. Congratulations. Uh, Thank you, CAO Winfrey. I think on behalf of myself and council, just want to say congratulations to all the staff and the long-standing awards that were given out this evening. This ship doesn't float without, all the work from our staff in Public Works and the pool and FCSS administration. So congratulations goes out to all the staff. Good job. And congratulations to CPO Kara. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you. All right, excellent. Okay, so back to the agenda. We do have an agenda before us. Are there any addition? Okay, we do have one walk-on for in camera.
Correct.
Yeah. Council can just add a walk-on item. Yeah, okay. Councillor McAvoy?
I will move adoption of the agenda as presented.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Carried. All right, next we have the meeting minutes from November 25th, 2025. Were there any changes, additions, deletions? Seeing none? Looking for motion then to approve as presented, please. Councillor Langridge.
I'll give you that motion, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Okay, so we are now moving on to the delegations. And this evening, our first delegation is Portage College, Nancy Broadman and Dr. Stephen Price. Welcome. If you don't mind coming up to the front, and we've got a microphone we'd like you to use, please. The tall chair. Comments or, yeah. So I'll turn the floor over to you.
Thank you very much. And I wanted just want to say what a pleasure it's been to see the awards of years of service. It's really important to take time to recognize those milestones and celebrate. And I'm glad I was here to see that. It was very nice. Along the lines, I also want to thank Mayor Brosseau, obviously for all the work you're doing on the college's board, but also for the work that you did to help us get into the C2 Center. And we have a little bit of an update on what's happening down there. Academics join us today. He's got all the hard questions, but seriously, he does have some really cool updates. Dr. Stephen Price, who the college is very lucky to have join and take over. And this is kind of our transition.
Thanks, Nancy. Hi, everyone. I'm just so excited to be at Portage College, to be back in this region. I grew up in Fort McMurray, doing outdoor activities, mostly in the summertime, but as a high school student in Fort McMurray, Bonnyville was our competition, and we were playing volleyball and basketball, and I came down here for cross-country running. I became a school teacher. I went to University of Alberta and then went back to Fort McMurray, and I taught for 7 years. And while I was the teacher, I continued to coach, and that again brought me to this neighborhood. I spent 5 summers coaching the Northeast Alberta basketball team, 3 years with the boys team and 2 years with the girls. And we basically had coaches out of Bonnyville that were our partner. And so spent 3 summers here being billeted out and coaching athletes from across our region. And coming back to Portage, from my last 25 years, I've been at Mount Royal in Calgary. The opportunity to come back north, to return home, and to have the opportunity to follow in Nancy's footsteps at Portage has just been an amazing opportunity. I want to say that you come in as a new leader and you think about how do you bring in a new leadership style? And I have found that the leadership style that I want to bring already existed at Portage. Nancy, over the last 6 years and over 35 years of service at the college, has been someone that led with trust, with humility, a focus on integrity, and at the core relationship building. And the great example of that is coming to the Bonnyville Town Council. And Nancy's been doing that for several years. And as a transitionary opportunity, Nancy's been taking me around. I'm just so honored to meet with each of the councils in our region. And I'm just honored to be here today. And I just hope that I can just fill the shadow behind Nancy over the next 5 years as I'm the president. So thanks, everyone, and it's great to be here today.
There's no shadow. You're taller than I am. So the next slide I'm not going to get into a lot. I want to make sure that Dawn has some time to give you some exciting news, but there is information in your package about the typical enrollments that Bonnyville residents are taking up in our college. And the college is still growing. We are anticipating a bit of a leveling off in 26, 27. A number of sources of revenue that we have are going to start to dry up. That's largely with international student partnerships. So while we're still growing, we are looking for those opportunities and to probably stabilize a bit as we move forward. The next slide is largely in our PowerPoint for folks that are new to understanding who Portage is, so I won't spend a lot of time. But back in 2015-16, we did an economic impact study. All post-secondaries participated and it was shared. And what this shows you is based on our spending in that time period, how many jobs that creates across the region. And of course, this would be a very minimal number as our revenues and student numbers have grown really dramatically. Like student numbers doubled and revenue up 26%. So I want to turn it over to Dawn to talk a little bit about programs and some of the exciting things that are going on.
Fantastic, and thank you so much, Nancy. It's always exciting to see the numbers when you're working with students and working with industry and at convocation. And I mean, you get that sense of student experience, but nothing like actually seeing the numbers of how many people are coming from Bonnyville. As Nancy mentioned, we are continuing to expand at Portage College. This year, we had a soft launch of our new addictions counseling diploma program, which we know is definitely going to help address some of the counseling needs across our region. Additionally, we were very fortunate to receive some expanded approvals and funding to support additional trades training. As we know, with all of the development that's going on in Bonnyville and all across this region, tradespeople really are integral to any of that type of work. And we were fortunate enough to actually get back our apprenticeship carpentry program, which was suspended for some period of time. And so we do run now we are approved to run all 4 periods of apprenticeship carpentry. And we just got approval now this is the first year that we've been able to run period 1 and period 2 of apprenticeship heavy equipment technician. So that does allow people to start off on their journeys. And as exciting as the approvals are to get, it's even more exciting to see the students enrolling and in class and learning and passing their exams. And just great to see folks come from all across the region. In addition to getting those 2 new apprenticeship programs, we also did get some expansion for our electrician program. There were so many individuals from Bonnyville, Cold Lake, and kind of beyond who just continued to sign up and choose Portage College. And so the government of Alberta was fortunate enough to expand that as well too for us. And just of note, we do have our steam fitter pipe fitter program that, based on feedback from Bonnyville, Cold Lake, and the industry localized here, we did shift some of the delivery into blended to allow for some of the apprentices who are working in the field to be able to better take some of the classes at the college and just come on site for labs. And that's really helped to get more of those individuals who are working in Bonnyville and the surrounding area to carry on with their apprenticeship programming. And it's been quite successful so far. Additionally, we are continuing to work towards a Bachelor's of Education for our region. We've been fortunate to go through the process, and so far it's been quite positive. The process of moving an institution to degree granting status is not an easy one. And so it does involve a great deal of review of the institution, as well as its programming, its faculty, a number of facets. Under Nancy's leadership, and now with Dr. Price's leadership as well too, we are progressing, I would say, quite quickly. And I think that just speaks to the type of relationship that we have with our communities and the quality of programming that we've been delivering. We are still projected to look at a fall 2026 start date. That's our expected outcome. Again, sometimes things may experience some delays, but we are hoping for that particular piece. We completed our institutional review. We got some feedback that we've been able to action and are proceeding forward with that. And it will be wonderful to have this localized for our region. And in doing so, we are planning to build a number of pathways that are really focused on the needs of rural Alberta. We did launch our Kinesiology and Sports Study Diploma program as well this year, which has been fantastic. We do have a number of athletes and athletics individuals who are interested in that program, as well as others who are into recreation. So very strong launch on that front. And we're continuing to work forward with our aircraft structures technician program, just based out of Cold Lake, that will work on aircraft repair. And we have some exciting opportunities to work with the Canadian Armed Forces to help bolster that program and continue to serve those who serve. Finally, I would say we do have our pre-health sciences pathway that was developed as well too this year. That particular pathway has really helped to build individuals who are looking at exploring a career in health but are not yet sure which pathway to go towards. Portage College, it's typically between a nursing and a paramedic program, and so that pre-health sciences allows individuals to take those common courses together, get a little bit of work experience in the field, and really help drive the direction that they want to go. And so that's also been quite exciting for us. And lastly, as Nancy mentioned earlier, we do have our additional space now at the C2 Center, which has been fantastic to offer a bit more continuing education and kind of what we call our short-term programming, such as workshops to the general public as well. And so great to see more individuals engaged with Portage College and what we're able to bring to the community.
Great. So the next slide that I shared with you is just what's going on, I guess, at the C2 Center and who's there. And largely what we've been doing is serving folks through the Community Adult Learning Program, which means it's helping with literacy, and the list is there. Of course, JED is now called the Canadian Adult Education Credential. So as we get to understand what that is, we can move over to that language. But there is also opportunity by having those folks in the C2 Center that any of the programs that are blended or online delivery from the college can be taken from here and exams invigilated through the KELP. So it's a way to reach out to the community. And that's the next slide that I'm not going to talk about, but it is just giving you a list of what is fully available online. And Dawn mentioned that some of the trades are moving to more blended, and we are looking at those opportunities all the time because it is a way that we can make sure everybody from across the region can participate. And it's really important for us to be able to do that in the region. So there's a number that have either a partial blended partial online delivery and then lab travel, as Dawn mentioned, or they might be fully online. And just speaking about the degree, that's one of the things that we are looking at with the education degree, is to deliver it like we do with early learning and childcare. So one course at a time in the evenings. People can still complete the full degree, but in the same time, but they can work and do it at the same time. So there's probably more on that, but I'm going to turn it over to Steve to talk a bit about research.
Well, very exciting for me coming to Portage from Mount Royal. The charter or the mandate of comprehensive community colleges gives the permission or actually guides the use of research, and research that's directly connected to the programs we offer and applied research that is in alignment with the needs of the region. And so we've been doing at Portage for years. Faculty members have been doing research, and we've got some superstars. We have 4 research chairs right now under the leadership of our Vice President Academic and Research, Dr. Donna Fledachuk, as well as our Director of Research, Dr. Christine Holguin. One of the research stars, of course, is beside me here. Dawn's been doing some great stuff with Canadian Armed Forces, looking at credentialing. We've got a bunch of stuff on the slide. I think the key point, the key takeaway we want to leave you with is the opportunities. We all are bringing in consultants at very high rates. I read an article that AI is actually going to reduce the need for consultants in the near future. Well, another way we can reduce the need for consultants is faculty members who do research, and research where students are involved, students as research assistants or students as partners in the research endeavor. And so we really want to plant the seed with you that as questions are coming up that council is dealing with or that are emerging in the region, think about Portage, and we'll get you in touch with people like Dawn, Christine. How can we find opportunities to partner together to look at those research questions? What are the right questions to ask? And how can we help unpack and answer those questions? So research is something that the college has been growing. We've had some great success, and it's really an opportunity for the future for us. The next slide is, and I should have Elisa speak to this one. Our Board of Governors approved a new strategic plan for the college this past spring, and it's the Voyageurs map to 2035. We really have outlined on this here our vision, a revised 10-year vision, as well as a mission. And embedded throughout that is rural prosperity, connecting with communities, and really supporting the region that we're in. And so you can see in our core values, collaboration and innovation and developing people is core to what we want to do. And so the Board of Governors have basically passed the strategy to us. And Nancy began the work, and the vice presidents and myself are working closely now with the entire college to how do we operationalize this. So it's been very exciting for us.
Yeah, so the initiatives that are underway, you know, we really want to make sure that you understand about the Collegiate Institute. That's very exciting. And I think, actually, Dawn, if you don't mind, you could give a quick overview of what that looks like.
Yeah, so the Northeastern Alberta Collegiate Institute, we worked with our with the 4 school divisions in our region, so that'd be Lakeland Catholic, St. Paul, Northern Lights, and the Francophone system as well, to really look at ways in which we can leverage these opportunities for everybody across the region. I mean, if one division does something fantastic, why leave it isolate just for those individuals? And so for the opportunity for the full division to come together, that way for all 4 divisions to come together, we can really provide the most impact and most access for students from across the region. So for the collegiate, we actually looked at 3 particular pathways based on what we heard were regional priorities, and honestly also what students were interested in as well too, because they've got to sign up and enjoy it as well. So the 3 areas that we focus on with our school division partners was education, health, and trades. Education, of course, working at both early learning childcare, but also towards a Bachelor's of Education pathway. And pre-health, working towards individuals who want to go through into nursing and paramedic, because we know that those are very much in demand trades, or occupations, I should say. Great to see the amount of impact that we've seen for those particular programs. I think our first pre-health cohort at the high school level was maxed out with a full group of students. And the best part is, because we're working with our divisions together, we can actually run it online, organize it students based on students' schedules. And so we have students from Bonnyville, Cold Lake, St. Paul, all taking the same classes together to provide these opportunities. And so it's so great that they're able to start their post-secondary career now. Trades one I want to speak about. Quite uniquely, we've taken a bit of a dual approach on that. Part of it has been organizing an Introduction to the Trades course, which is a university class focused on teaching folks how to use the trades, so we kind of get a great variety of students, and it has become immensely popular. We ran a couple of cohorts last year, and now with the collegiate, I think we have 8 or 9 scheduled across the region already, with one school running 3 cohorts simultaneously in the same semester, just because students are signing up, parents are encouraging them, and we're seeing those then students carry on and apply for other trades programming as well. We're getting tools in their hands, and we're getting those high school shops alive and well. Quite exciting. Next semester, we're hoping to actually run period 1 or level 1 training for welding, heavy equipment technician, and carpentry across the region. The specifics of delivery we're working out, but it's areas such as, say, electrical, where we might do the blended model that Nancy alluded to earlier, where theory is online, and we may have labs in Bonnyville or Cold Lake, where individuals just come for those set lab days. That way we can get the most students through so that they can really start their career that much earlier, because we know that the jobs are coming, and if we can get students while they're still in high school and we can get the tools tools in their hands, they're that much more likely to be successful and carry on in the trade. So it's been quite positive and very excited by the amount of students who are looking at these opportunities.
Thanks, Don. We've talked lots about the degree, and there is a typo on your slide that I see. Elk Point was actually the last community that we signed up an MOU, but of course, the town of Bonnyville was the very first.
Slide
So,
on the screen is the corrected one.
oh, good. Just my printout is wrong. Good, that's good. And, you know, really that was all. We just wanted to give you a little bit of an update and say, see you and not goodbye, because I still will be involved in many boards and other areas in the region. So you'll see me again, I'm sure. You'll get tired of saying goodbye probably. But on that, we just want to close and ask if there's any questions or comments or concerns, and really to thank you all, because over the years you've all brought ideas to us, and it's through that that we can noodle on some things and actually have really good success rolling them out. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. We'll open it up to council. Any questions for the delegation this evening? Councillor Johnson?
Just one comment. I just thank you again, Nancy, and very nice to meet both of you tonight. The early learning and child care program that you're running, we have, I think, 5 coming to the Ohana Center for practicum, and I think 2 or 3 are returning, which I just heard last night. So
Oh, I'm glad.
the practicum is working well in the area. So
Good.
and that whole program. So it's great to see. So thank you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions? Councillor Commissioner, sorry.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. It's catching. This just a comment, actually. Yes, we're still going to miss you. Dr. Price, you coming back here is a success story for the region. It really is. We have so much here and people don't even realize it. So thank you for coming back. Thank you for coming back to the region. We need that here because I'm sure it's going to bring more people here. So thank you for that.
Any other questions? Councillor Blanchett?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you all for being here this evening. One of the things that piqued my interest during your presentation was the research that you have underway for societal support inequities for rural Alberta. Sort of aligns with some of the advocacy work that all of these folks know that I am a part of through the FCSS Association of Alberta. So I'd be really interested in learning a little bit more about that, perhaps offline, if I can get in touch with whoever would be most appropriate.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
We'd love to connect you with that. Yeah.
Great.
It really came out of our community social work background, if I'm thinking of the right one. And it was about using, in rural Alberta, we often don't have the breadth of services that are available in urban. And so it's getting creative and using multidisciplinary folks in the school, in the hospitals and other health authorities. And there is a really good piece of research I'd be happy to share with you.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, I just have a couple questions. Where do I start? So I know you had mentioned there is still a need, I think, for some virtual type of education. That's why we're doing the blended. But can you tell me, is it increasing? Is it decreasing? During COVID, we saw a lot of need for having the virtual capacity. But are we finding a shift in the requirement to do a lot of that more blended or virtual training?
Yeah, I think what I would say is that it's really program dependent.
Okay.
So particularly in programs where the biggest intake has been working folks, they are looking for the blended delivery, and it's really what's driving up the numbers. So for example, in early learning and childcare, I think the biggest home community that we're serving right now is Edmonton. So it has a lot to do with who's trying to take the program and whether it's available in a non-traditional way, I guess, like in the evenings. I think that there are some programs that students are, I would say that the kinesiology, for example, is purely a face-to-face program. And it, again, is because it's tailoring to that market, which is mainly our athletic students, to be honest. So I think it's leveling. I would suggest that there are, with the work that we're doing out in the high schools, there's a lot more kids that are interested in face-to-face classrooms, they're used to being in a cohort. But it has a lot to do with what they can access and then how dynamic the teachers are, to be honest, whether they really take to the virtual or not. Yeah. There are, other than the early learning and childcare, we're still primarily serving our own region students, but the blended allows us to get the ones and twos out of Elk Point and blend them with the bigger groups out of the city of Cold Lake and, that kind of thing. So it makes the cohorts much more viable as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent, thank you. And then I just have a few questions on the collegiate. So this is high school? What grades is this?
Yeah, so the collegiate school is focused on grades 10 to 12.
Oh,
And so it's utilizing all the high schools from across the region as well. So yeah, focus on that particular grade. Some courses obviously you need to be in the grade 12 level, so you have the prerequisites for. Some of the other courses we can begin as early as grade 10. We actually had some exciting ones this summer where we had some of the trades exposure courses. Because of the way that we've structured them, that you just need safety certification in order to access it. We actually had a grade 9 student beginning grade 10 who decided to sign up to take it over the summer. And so it's fantastic. They get that opportunity quite early in.
I really appreciate that that we're doing this now, because it just gives those students that access to get ahead of the game in a way. A lot of them don't really know what they want to do anyway. So this gives them the opportunity to maybe try something out. And then if we don't have the capacity in our high schools, it's nice to see that the college can come in and kind of have that for the students. So thank you. I don't have any other questions. I think I'll just piggyback on what Councillor Kushner said. Welcome back to the region. We really appreciate it. It's extremely important for somebody, president of Portage College, to understand the region and the needs. So I think it's really important to have you come out and have these relationships with the councils and the community. So we thank you for your time today, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes. Thanks. Okay, all right. Our next delegation, the 2026 Alberta Winter Games. Violet, welcome. Hello. So we'll do the same. We'll give you the floor, and then we'll have an opportunity for questions and comments after. Okay.
Know most of you, and of course, Councillor Langridge sits on our board. So I just want a chance to come and meet you in person, those who I haven't met, and kind of give you a quick update and where we're going from here as we quickly approach. So just a little overview for those who do not eat, breathe, and sleep the games so far, is that they are coming February 13th to 16th. So that is athletes arriving on the 13th and departing on the 16th. So obviously a lot of stuff happening around them, but those are the dates for sure. There's over 2,400 athletes that are coming, and they will be housed in athletes' villages, which are the schools in our region. So all school districts and just about every school is being utilized for this. We're expecting an influx of 5,000 to 6,000 visitors typically for an event this size. So we don't see events of this magnitude very often. So, and the last time the games were hosted in 2010, we obviously have a bit more infrastructure, a bit more versatility, and a bit more ability to showcase everything that's happened in our region since then. So. I won't go through this list. Obviously, you've had a chance to see these slides and can review it further, but just a little update. We've only, since our original planning, had a couple of venue changes, and that was due to, obviously, the big one was biathlon. We just had to move it to a little bit more accessible of a location at the Bonnyville Golf and Winter Club, the Bonnyville Golf Course. And so besides that, we're obviously utilizing all the major venues in the area, including JJ Park facility, our Centennial Center, some of the schools in the region. So there's quite a varying degree of small venues to large venues, including outdoor. We'll be hosting at Muriel Lake Campground for cross-country skiing as well. So we'll see everyone everywhere. The opening ceremonies will be hosted at the Imperial Place Arena. Last time they were here was in Bonnyville, so we'll be hosting there this time. There will be over 5,000 plus people in attendance. It's quite an exciting event that we have planned. I'm swore to secrecy, so I can't really go through the agenda for the evening, but it's going to be quite spectacular. We have some great entertainment, and the marshaled in by their zone. They're announced. The crowd is excited. Cheer them on. We do have some spectacular production things that are planned, and of course, it ends with the lighting of the cauldron, which is quite wonderful in itself. So we will be live streaming this, so we want to make sure that we're showcasing as much as we can online to have a chance, not only for the folks at home that weren't able to attend to see their athlete, but also to a chance to showcase it as far as we can as our ability to produce something of this size in our area. So afterwards, we are hosting a games reception in the same arena upstairs in the Games Lounge, and that will have a chance. Moving on to our budget, I do have, obviously, as a partner, I do have an event of this size is running just over the $2 million mark. So, so far we're on target. There, of course, are some variables, so we're very pleased with some of those. One of the challenges that we face with that, though, is, well, not a challenge, but one of the things that we were very firm on is that we want to remain local. So when we look at food vendors, instead of hiring production companies out of the city, anything like that, those size of caterers, we chose to break it down and organize it differently so that we could manage that with having the food centers doing their breakfasts and dinners in each area. We also are catering the lunches to their venue, so it gives a chance for even the smaller mom and pop caterers and stuff to contribute and have some revenue and share in a little bit of ownership of the event as well. Some of the risks to our revenue, though, that we've identified at this time is obviously there's been delay in the November, which is a large sum of money for our revenue, and it's been announced that it's delayed until January. So we are inquiring more on that. So that is definitely still have some sponsorships. So that goes a long way as to offset. So we have promising. So we're hoping the second one. Historically, emissions have been a risk you take in order. Facility trailers, several different groups for this, filter industry companies, because often than not, they're not working this out, then we will. That was one of our large gift in kinds. E-Hill isn't originally designed for taking, so I'm very happy that it sounds like it's just alone having admissions or sent out requests for that if anyone, and not very practical, donating back to either other non-for-profit charities or community groups in need. So I guess I've definitely fallen below where final hours. So feel a little bit of our coordination. So that's something that we're realistically, like there's facilities have showers, which ones don't. This is for 2,400 people to shower over the course of the week. So we do have polyclinics, and we do have having volunteers in that capacity, in the professional capacity. We do have a lot of some traction in, or don't have as chairs. We need some committee chair. So hopefully that we really just have to say thank you. We are utilizing at the scene with Quentin and his team, with the community, with Brad and Bonnie. They've all been issues as well have come, and it's a great organized for sure. There's a lot of space in there to join with you at the parade. So I can't say thank you enough. The media marketing coordination planning. So next steps that we ask is removal, things like that. We've obviously continued those coordination meetings to priority routes for snow removal. So hopefully we take. We also will be, ACO will be hosting the community, the small cauldron. So we'll be, community is all involved and know that they can come out. Also be hosting some volunteers to come out, games and kind of celebrate the we'd like to invite they are the people who are coming in the doors. They see about our community. Of course, we have lots of options for that. If council could find some time to join us in that. That's all I have for
Very much. Open it up for questions.
Okay, we did this last time. 4-wing down, they did incredible things, so it took them a little while to get to that point. So you might be in a good, I know we have lots of radios, but I figured I'd put them on the spot. Will eventually take care of itself. Congratulations and keep on trucking.
Just a kudos to your volunteer for one of them, and your team has been being happy, and they do a phenomenal. Is there? Are you guys holding your own? You have
it. So we have a target areas that teams and clubs. So we're starting to look at work schedules and kind of pencil in key focuses for now, for sure, being that we're giving people those handbooks, such like.
perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a good segue. I was going to ask how
Different ways. The easiest way is to go, I have a ramp account, which a lot of parents do, whose jobs are listed on there. What days, what shifts, what hours would you like to work in that area? So it's very specific, especially because we're spread out regionally. We had to be, so people had to be aware when they were signing up. I'm signing up to work in Glendon. I'm signing up to work in the food center in Bonnyville versus the food center in Cold Lake. So it's all there, but we do put our contact information, including the email and phone number. If number one, if people are having any trouble signing up, they can also call us. We can sign up people who are having, might not be technical savvy, or something's going wrong, or they just want to volunteer as a group and all 30 of them don't want to hop on and log in themselves. We can sign them up ourselves. So we make an option for everyone. Easiest way, if you feel like it, is to hop on the website and volunteer.
what is your website? I was just looking.
It's 2026 AWG.
Dot,
.com.
just so then I can.
.com. .com. .com.
So I can ensure I give the right information and make sure everybody here around the table wrote that. David, you wrote that down?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Good, thank you, Violet. Oh, and then my other question, not to pick on Darren, I'm not picking on him, but you said something about physician roles. Does it have to be physicians, or can it be EMS, EMT?
Some of them are. So some of them specifically have to be physicians when we talk about in charge of the polyclinics and able to sign off someone out of sport. We do have roles that can be filled by first aiders, EMT, athletic therapists, RNs, LPNs. There's really literally a role that can be filled by anyone, but we do have to have physicians that sign off at the end of the day. Some that are in charge, whether it's taking someone out of sport because of concussion protocol, or says, no, they've gone to the polyclinic, no, that person definitely needs to go to the hospital. So when I say polyclinic, for those who aren't familiar, it's essentially a triage clinic. So it's a full clinic setup, one in Bonnyville at the Centennial Center and one in Cold Lake at the Energy Center. So it is manned by nurses and a physician and other personnel all days of from Friday on to Monday. So, and that's where we divert all medical, unless emergency obviously is taken directly to hospital, but any injuries, anything directs to the polyclinic, so that we're not utilizing hospital or walk-in clinic resources in the region, right? So we're managing that internally. Plus it helps us manage if we know if any kids have injuries from sport.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Are there any other questions? No? All right. Well, thank you so much, Violet, for your time and this presentation. It's a very large event spanning many municipalities. So the logistical challenges, no doubt, are grand. And thank you for taking it on and all the great work that you're doing. I'm sure we will all, look to help out as much as that we can. And I'll for sure just support and making sure that I'm talking about the games and directing people to the website or to the office. So let's try to make it as successful as we can.
I appreciate
All right.
that, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. All right, council, let us. Okay, moving on. We have the 2026 interim operating budget.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Attached is the proposed 2026 interim operating budget, which includes the options presented at the budget open house on December 2nd. These options include a 2% residential municipal tax dollar increase, a non-residential municipal tax rate increase of 1.7 times the residential municipal tax rate, a utility fixed charge increase to $20 per month, a utility consumption fee increase to $3 per cubic meter, a garbage rate increase to $15.25 per month, a reduction in the requests from community organizations, and the deferral of the administrative support and development technician positions. After incorporating the adjustments, the operating budget reflects a deficit of $607,130. To achieve a balanced budget, a transfer from the general operating reserve in this amount has also been included. Other reserve transfers included in the budget include $31,420 to fund the landfill liability if necessary if there is no year-end surplus, $1,007,604 to fund the annual local improvement taxes, $150,000 to fund the lift station cleaning, $75,000 to fund an update to the municipal development plan, and $45,000 to complete the repairs at the change rooms at the pool. Revenue from the ICF from the MD of Bonnyville in the amount of $1.5 million has also been included in this budget in the areas of corporate services, protective services, transportation, solid waste, and recreation. The MGA requires each municipality to pass a balanced interim operating budget prior to December 31st. Amortization in the amount of $7.2 million, as well as amortization for asset retirement obligations in the amount of $81,000, will be added to the approved 2026 interim operating budget. Administration is recommending that Council approve the 2026 interim operating budget as presented, including the $607,130 transfer from the general operating reserve to achieve a balanced budget.
Okay, thank you. Opening it up. Any questions on this final draft? Councillor Blanchette?
I just have one question, Madam Mayor. It is on the one that I'm going to be referring to is page 35 of the package under the council section, receptions and public relations. The jump in 2026, roughly 25,000, is that due to the air show?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for administration on this budget? All right, we are looking for a motion to approve this budget as presented. Councillor McAvoy.
Well, as an interim budget, it looks pretty good, and I will move that council approve the 2026 interim operating budget as presented, including the $607,130 transfer from the general operating reserves to achieve the balanced budget.
Thank you. All in favor? That's carried. All right, the 2026 interim capital budget.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Attached is the proposed 2026 interim capital budget, which includes all of the projects that were presented at the budget open house. The proposed capital budget totals $9,547,484 and reflects a minor surplus of $6,734, which will be transferred to the general capital reserve to maintain a balanced budget. Administration is anticipating $1,238,000 in provincial grant funding, which is a decrease of $37,000 from 2025, and $6,366,066 from the 2025 ID 349 funding. Local improvement tax revenue in the amount of $84,000 is included, accounting for any potential lane paving projects that may come up. Reserve transfers for equipment replacement totals $1.4 million, and a reserve transfer in the amount of $396,668 has been included for the Highway 28 project. Total amounts transferred from reserves is $1,859,168. In addition, unfinished 2025 projects will either carry forward into 2026 or be deferred. These projects were fully funded in 2025, so there is no additional financial impact on the 2026 budget. At this time, there remains a few projects where costs are unknown and the final expenditure amounts will have a bearing on the final budget for 2026. These projects include the Public Works Shop design and Jesse Lake Area 1 development. Recommendations from administration will be included with the final capital budget for these projects. We are recommending that Council approve the 2026 interim capital budget as presented.
Okay, thank you. Questions for administration on the capital budget? Councillor Kushner.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Just the local improvement tax revenue in the amount of $84,000 through to administration. So if we had somebody come to us, I mean, $84,000 isn't a lot of money for a lane, I would think. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Did we do any this year in 2025?
Yes, we do have one right now. We're just waiting for the final costs to come in. And we do have a policy regarding our lane paving, and depending on whether it's residential or commercial, it tells us how much they would pay back, whether it's 80%, 70%, 50%. I think the one we're doing this year is a combination of both, and the final costs will come in once the capital infrastructure project is complete by the end of the year.
So that $84,000, that's, you think that that's probably right where we need to be?
Should it be for a commercial alley? That is about right. They go about 100, previously, the past 3 or 4 years, they've been about 105 to 130,000, depending on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? No? All right, we are looking for a motion then to pass the capital budget. Councillor Schroeder.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that we accept the 2026 interim capital budget as presented.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Next, the 2026 operating and capital plan.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Under Section 283.1 of the MGA, it requires municipalities to prepare written financial, operating, and capital plans. Both the financial and operating capital plans are updated annually to reflect Council's priorities. The attached operating financial plan and capital plan were prepared based on the 2026 interim operating and capital budgets that were just presented, using the templates provided by Alberta Municipal Affairs. Administration is recommending that Council approve the 2026 to 2029 operating financial plan and the 2026 to 2030 capital plan with the inclusion of any changes made to the interim budget for 2026.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for either one of the plans? Capital. All right. We are looking for a motion to approve. Councillor Blanchette.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will move that council approve the 2026 to 2029 operating financial plan and the 2026 to 2030 capital plan with the inclusion of any changes made to the interim budget for 2026.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Okay, next, appointment of chair for the Joint Assessment Review Board.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Appointment of Chair, Joint Assessment Review Board, a request of expression of interest for the position of Chair of the Joint Assessment Review Board was circulated to all participating municipalities. No responses or nominations were received from member municipalities other than Councillor Brian McAvoy's willingness to serve. And it's in the absence of additional candidates, administration intends to proceed with recommending Councillor McAvoy for appointments as Chair. That the recommendation also appoint Councillor Brian McAvoy from the town of Bonnyville as the chair of the Joint Assessment Review Board for a term of 1 year, effective immediately.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? No? All right, we are looking for a motion. Councillor Johnson.
I'll make the motion that we appoint Councillor Brian McAvoy from the town of Bonnyville as chair of the Joint Assessment Review Board for the term of 1 year, effective immediately.
All right, thank you. All in favor? Carried. Next, the policy regarding records retention and disposition schedule.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In accordance with bylaw number 1547-23, records retention and deposition, Schedule A of policy number 23-AD086 must be updated annually to reflect administrative changes. The bylaw states that the retention period outlined in Schedule A are adopted as official retention periods for the town records and may be amended by resolution of council upon recommendation of the CAO or designate or delegate. Records Management has completed the 2025 updates for Schedule A, which include the creation of 8 new record folders to support improved organization and compliance. Recommendation that Council approve the amendments to Schedule A of policy number 23-8086, records for the information management as recommended by administration.
Thank you. Any questions for administration? None. We are looking for a motion to accept the new schedule. Councillor Cushing.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I would make a motion that council approve the amendments to Schedule A of policy number 23-AD-086.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Okay, next, just ratification of a reference letter that was provided to the Alberta Bilingual Municipalities Association.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On December 1st, 2025, administration received a request from the Alberta Bilingual Municipals Association, ABMA. The province requested additional documentation for ABMA's ASIP grant application and granted the organization a 2-day extension. ABMA therefore required a reference letter from the town of Bonnyville by Tuesday, December 2nd at 12 p.m. Given the short turnaround on the timing of the request, administration circulated the draft reference letter to council via email for approval. A majority of council responded affirmably, authorizing administration to proceed with the signing and delivering of the letter before the provincial deadline. Recommendation that council ratify the decision made via email on December 1st, 2025, authorizing administration to submit a reference letter in support of the Alberta Bilingual Municipalities Association, ABMA, applications to the Alberta Settlement and Integration Program, ASIP.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Oh, all right, just a motion to ratify our earlier motion. Councillor Johnson?
I will make the motion that we ratify the email that we sent out on December 1st, 2025 for the ABMA for the application of the ASIP.
All right, thank you. All in favor? Carried. Okay, next, property tax exemption application for the Bonnyville Baptist Church.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Bonnyville Baptist Church has submitted an application requesting a property tax exemption for their property located at 4210 34th Street under Section 362 1 and 2 of the MGA. This section allows exemption for property held by a nonprofit organization and used solely for community games, sports, athletics, or recreation for the benefit of the general public and meets the qualifications outlined in the regulations. Community organization property tax exemption regulation specifies properties that are not exempt from taxation under this section include property that is used for operation of a professional sports franchise, property used solely for community games, sports, athletics, or recreation if, for more than 40% of the time, that property is in use, the majority of those participating in the activities held on the property are 18 years of age or older, or if for more than 30% of the time that the property is in use, the use of the property is restricted. The Bonnyville Baptist Church has owned this property since 2014, and it has always been taxable. The property has been improved with a disc golf course that is open to the public 24/7, so there are no restrictions based on Section 7 of COPTER. Currently, about 35 to 45% of the users are youth, with many of the schools using the facility in the fall and spring for their physical education classes. In addition to the schools, the course has been getting about 3,000 rounds of play during the summer months. Administration is recommending that council approve an exemption for all taxes, excluding any local improvement taxes, based on the use of the property being a disc golf course for the property owned by the Bonnyville Baptist Church located at 4210 34th Street for the years 2026, 2027, and 2028.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Decision? Councillor Langridge?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would be prepared to move staff recommendation.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Carried. Next, property tax exemption for the Dragonfly Counseling and Support Center.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Attached is an application from the Dragonfly Counseling and Support Center requesting property tax exemption for the property they lease located at 4808 50th Avenue. Section 362 1 and 3B of the MGA provides that property used for a charitable or benevolent purpose that is for the benefit of the general public and owned by a nonprofit organization is exempt from taxation. It is up to the municipality to make the determination with respect to whether or not the organization is providing a charitable or benevolent purpose. Based on the criteria established in the regulation, it would appear that the Dragonfly Counseling and Support Center qualifies under this section of the Act and therefore would be exempt. The regulation also provides that council can make the determination with respect to the status of the organization for a period of up to 3 years. In the previous 3 years, this property has been exempted from taxation. Administration is recommending that council exempt the property leased by the Dragonfly Counseling and Support Center located at 4808 50th Avenue from all property tax excluding local improvement tax for the years 2026, 2027, and 2028 pursuant to Section 362, 1 and 3B of the Municipal Government Act.
All right, thank you. Questions? Councilor Blanchett?
I'll go, okay. Thanks, Madam Mayor. Under the Municipal Government Act, the MGA, so they're leasing these premises. And in here it says it must be owned by a nonprofit organization to be exempt from taxation. Is that in here somewhere, or did I miss that? Through to me.
It can be leased as well. If it's leased by a nonprofit organization, they would also qualify.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Councilor Blanchett?
This just dawned on me. So the staff recommendation is to exempt this property for 2026 to 2028. If for any reason they were no longer leasing this property, say next year, would then we revisit that decision, or yeah?
Then it would, the exemption would be null and void if the property had a change of use from a nonprofit.
Excellent, thanks.
Excellent. Any other questions? All right, we are looking for a decision. Councilor Blanchett?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will move the staff recommendation that council exempt the property leased by the Dragonfly Counseling and Support Center located at 4808 50th Avenue from all property tax excluding local improvement tax for the years 2026 through 2028 pursuant to the cited section of the MGA.
All in favor? Carried. Okay, next, property tax exemption for La Société du Festival Bonnyvillois.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. La Société du Festival Bonnyville, I can't say it, I'm sorry, has submitted an application requesting a property tax exemption for their property located at 4904 50th Street under Section 362, 1 and 3B of the MGA. Again, this section allows exemption for property used for a charitable or benevolent purpose that benefits the general public. It is owned by a nonprofit organization and meets the qualifications outlined in the regulation. The COPTER regulation specifies that property is not exempt unless the charitable or benevolent purpose primarily benefits the general public in a municipality where the property is located, and the organization's resources are chiefly devoted to that purpose. The society has owned the property since 1987, and it has always been taxable. The facility is accessible to the public through the ACFA office daily from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Membership is open to all community members with events primarily in French and often bilingual. Events held at the facility include summer camps for youth, adult language courses, social activities, and more. Current facility usage is 30% youth, 30% seniors, and 40% for the general public. Administration is recommending that council approve a 50% exemption on municipal taxes only based on the proportion of usage by youth and seniors for the property owned by La Société du Festival Bonnyville located at 4904 50th Street for the years 2026, 2027, and 2028.
Thank you. Any questions, council?
I do just have a question, just on in the information that's provided, it indicates that there's summer camps for youth, adult language courses, social activities. And then in the recommendation, it's to only exempt for the usage by youth and seniors. So are we considering the other things that are listed in the comments not charitable or benevolent purposes?
The consideration for the 50% is that we have other facilities in town that are also exempt about 50% of the time as the usage fluctuates. So I know it's 60% right now, youth and seniors, based on the information that was provided. That may drop to 40, so that's why we stayed with the 50. Does that answer your question?
I guess my question is, why is the recommendation not 100%?
It's usually focused on the youth and seniors aspect of it. That's how most facilities within the town of Bonnyville are exempt. For example, Lakeland Lodge and Housing for seniors. When we looked at the Bonnyville Fish and Game Association, that's for the youth component that's being leased by there. So that's mainly what our focus is. Adult general public as listed in the previous one with regards to recreation, those aren't exempt. So that's where the recommendation is coming from administration.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Councillor Schroen?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll move that we approve a 50% exemption on the municipal tax portion only based on the proportion of usage by youth and seniors for the property owned by Lac Society de Bonnyville, located at 4904 50th Street for the years of 2026 to 2028.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, next, committee reports. We'll start with Councillor Blanchett.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On November 26th to the 28th, I attended the FCSS Association of Alberta annual conference in Edmonton. On November 29th, co-hosted the live stream of the Santa Claus Parade with Councillor Johnson. December 2nd, attended the town's budget open house. December 4th, Bonnyville Wellness Coalition meeting, followed by the annual, had a Bonnyville Municipal Library Board meeting. And that is all for me.
On the December 4th, on the 8th, I attended a pre-recorded governance and responsibilities for LICA, and today I had a chamber meeting. That's it.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On November the 8th, I jumped in on the 29th, to house here at the town hall library meeting. That's all for me.
Okay, for myself on the 26th, I had a regular board meeting for parade. December open house on December 2nd at Imperial Oil with get to know more about what they do.
Okay, since I haven't reported since September, sit back, relax. For the staff appreciation at the Bonnyville Health Center. November 6th, the budget workshop. November 7th, the Bonny Lodge 65th birthday celebration. The 10th of November, the BRFA HSAA bargaining, which went on for a couple of days. On the 11th of November, I attended the Remembrance Day services. November.
Okay, November, and all that again, and everybody came there. The 30th, also the Festival of the Trees. December 1st, community policing meeting. December 2nd, budget open house. And December 5th,
All right, November 27th, I assisted in the park, whichever we want to call it, light up on a new, everything down there. On November 30th, I assisted with the tear down of the Festival of Trees. In November, did the Teenagers concert. And last night, December the 8th, I had an Ohana Center meeting. That's it for me.
Okay, and questions for administration, anybody? No, we've got a couple items in camera. Motion to move into camera, please.